kind of sneak by there real quick?
Yep, yep. Be normal, be normal. Do your thing.
Oh, is he?
No, go for it. You're good.
Face inside and go super slow. Wide. Always do this with big guys who's going wide. The wider you go, the less likely you are to be able to attack. It takes you longer to use your stance than you attack. But it's a good defensive position to be in wide. Yeah, wide body. And you can be stable. The key to it is be low. If you catch the pattern, and every time you move, come up, you may time that and shoot on the inside, or use that to throw. Try to keep your feet away. Imagine something, an object in between your feet. You can't touch them together. Bring your feet closer together makes you stand taller. Keep them wide. Fourth time I realized he was on the second. Alright, so we're moving. What I'm looking for this hand, I'm looking for this butterfly. So if you do it real fast and aggressive, it's probably not going to work because you're going to start using a lot of strength. Okay? And you're probably going to kick your partner in the nuts. Okay? So don't do that. It's not a quick, like we're jumping guard. It's really going to linger here. I'm not reaching for this. I'm actually going to kind of get it ready, and then I'll catch him as he comes in. All right, you might want to do some reaching so that you have a reference you can feel. Okay, so here I'll start circling. Right, whether I'm pushing so I can get a reaction for him to push back. Okay, if not, I might push, pull, and circle. All right, I'm looking for him to get light here. We're gonna pull. Pick a simple sweep, which we'll get into later. It's a simple sweep from our feet, basically. So here, you gotta make sure you're accurate on your grips here. Okay, if I'm gripping up here, no go. He's gonna let go and post his hand. All right. So here, I'll be able to tuck this in. And here, he'll post his elbow. All right. I want to make sure I'm accurate in my grips. When we were talking before we started the seminar about no gi, gi. Okay, if it was no gi, I'd be here. It's kind of tricky doing this particular throw no gi. But if I were to do something similar, the grips would be here. Right? Collar, elbow grip. Now I have a gi, I have a little bit more leverage. Okay, so here, circle. As I circle, I'm going to start to pull all my weight down, right? I can't be too far away. If I'm too far away, I have no leverage. Be stronger, and I'm going down, he has the advantage, right? Because he's upright, he has all of his base. Okay, so I'll start to circle here. As I go, I'm pulling him in and putting all my weight on that elbow, okay? As I do, I'm gonna make sure that I'm focusing to lay all the way on this side, here on my shoulder. I'm trying to touch my shoulder to the ground. As I go, here. Okay. The other hook, I didn't search for it. I got stubby legs. So if I do that against somebody like Ben's real tall, Tim, if I do that, all he's got to do, if he sees that coming, step around. He's so much taller than me, which is a problem for big guys, right? Here. Step towards the hook. Here. Pulling back. Here. And as I start to sit on this side, I'm getting my hook ready. Here. Even when this looks ugly, it still works. As long as you're pulling him into you, he's not way out here, that's when it fails. It fails a little something like you might not fall for that because I'm extended. He's so far away, if he collapsed on this side, he would just smash my leg. I'd have him on top of me. One more time. I'm stepping, getting close to that hook, and pulling down. It's a lot of pulling into me, collapsing on it. Okay, anybody ever play football? O-line. See, big guys are just O-line. Bare weight on me. Same deal. Judo throws. And a lot of sweeps sometimes. Here. A lot of weight on me. Here. Yeah, it should come up here, knee on stomach, kind of a camera impact control concept, or you just come up and cover.
Keeping the elbow.
Always keep the elbow. Always keep the elbow. Not always possible, but always make an attempt to keep the elbow. Because he just got thrown, and this is a dummy throw. He feels like a dummy. He's going to scramble to his feet. So he's going to turn into a super awesome. This here. We'll talk about control on top in a little while. Keep pulling this up here. Then knee close to your hip. As soon as possible. Control the sleeve, knee close to the hip as soon as possible because typically we're dealing with a longer person and they're going to get that knee real easy on their stubby legs. Right? Alright, I don't want that. I want to get as many points in one move as possible. So cool. 2, and then 3 for the pass if I stabilize. Okay, good. Let's go over here. Okay. You guys okay with it? Spread it out. Let's do the try to come back to the lead. Scoop on hand reps. Yeah.
There was one that way. Yep, that one.
This is like one.
Communication. Wrong. You can sit around. You go to your side. Create your shape. They're gonna fall.
I get a side of beef thrown on top of me here.
This knee stays out. It's awkward because he's going to timber on top of you. He will. I mean, sometimes you can keep it without the hooks. I mean, I've done this kind of throw without anything. In judo, they do a sacrifice throw where they go here.
I'm going up in here first.
Oh, I was going to ask
This
about that.
kind of shit.
Yeah.
So it's the same. You just remember that both movements are the same. One is just getting a hook to help guide the whole you don't collapse. Boom. Generate nice flowing. Try to step to the outside. Step to the outside. Yeah. Another problem, big guys, is he's probably got a monster grip, but I don't even want to test it. Right? Monster grip, strong, he's going to keep me away. I'm a wrestler, but how can I shoot if I can't do anything? Maybe he's got this elbow and I can't even, all the traditional grip breaks are not working. Okay? One thing that I've been using for a long time, and I've realized in the last couple of years some serious cons behind it. We'll go over that. Okay, is swimming to an underhook. Okay, here, because in wrestling, underhook is huge. It's helped me quite a bit. I mean, I'm big on underhooks when it comes to wrestling. So I learned to get either side, here. Okay, depending on his stance, position, where I feel like he tends to lean, like right now I can tell he's kind of favoring his weight on this side. So I'll start going here. It's a swim stroke, so look, I go in, so I just spear it in. And then I'm going to try to stretch that limb out as much as possible. Okay, here. Because if I try to go here, he might block, turn his elbow up, right? And I'm no good. I'll switch. He might open that collar up, so go ahead and block it, right? I'll switch. Now I have this collar, and I'll start working stuff here. Maybe I can shoot here, because I have better advantage. And I start playing. I keep going underhooks here. People get real weird when it comes to underhooks. They start, especially in jiu-jitsu, a lot of guys, they start backing off like, all right, they're used to this here. And they start doing underhooks. You start eating up the side of their body. Here you can get real comfortable. Here. Just start backing off like that. Right? And that's the problem with big guys, and your referees don't understand that a lot of times. You know, that's not traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So they think it's just a big dude pushing another big dude around. And like, knock that off. You guys are stalling. Both of you get a warning. You know, you for backing off, you for just being a fat bully. But that's not what it is. If they're a little bit more educated about it, they understand what it is. So here I'm going here. I'm shooting it through. See what it's doing to his grip? Big guys especially tend to have less play in their collar, right? So this is good for the small guy versus the big guy too. Because I'm not going to defeat this. So Mr. Peter's a lot smaller than this guy, right? Me, right? So I have to be a little bit smarter than him. I'm not going to break this grip off. He's got a monster grip. So I'll shoot through here. All the way through. I'm pulling, look, I'm pulling here. Karate kind of has that concept of like pull and hit, right? Here. I'm pulling him in as I'm stepping through. Now look at what I have. His whole body is exposed now on this side. Okay? I have to be careful now. I can't get too happy that I have a leg ready to go. That's not going to be there forever. He's going to realize that pretty quick. Okay? So if I shoot and he sprawls, and he's heavier than I anticipate, and my shot's not as accurate as possible, I'm going to be on my face. I'm going to be in trouble. Okay? So here, if he still has his grip, that's fine. Okay? I'm going to drop down. Step behind, and I drop down, and I'm not going to touch. It's like I was telling the kids, it's like playing operation. You don't want to touch anything until you're there. Okay? Here. Talked about stance and lowering my elevation. Right? Here. Drop. And I attach my hands before I pull. Because if I pull, if I touch now, he's going to step back. And then he's too strong. I'm going to keep pursuing that. A lot of guys will keep pursuing that and they end up on their face, wondering how they lost that match. Okay. Here. Here. His grip, if you really need that off, he's barely hanging on to anything already because big guys don't have much collar to play with. You start pulling that out, or get it back. You start making it a pain in the ass for him to have it. Start hiking the arm up here. Okay. He's so concerned with that. Drop it here. Look, my head goes up, see I'm going to squat. I'm not leaning forward, I'm going to squat. Look at how he's hunched over me. He's ready to drop his weight and kick that leg back. So look, I look into his body, and I pull this to my chest, step away. Pushing his body away, made his leg light. I could do this, put on your weight down. This is hard, right? But if I push his body, it comes up for me. And once I get it, I gotta get here, and I can't hang out. The longer I hang out, it starts wearing on my lower back. Keep your head up, if he's going to start dumping his weight, I got to keep him upright. If I go down, now that hurts. Okay? So we'll swim into it. Boom. Drop. Attach. Come up. Face comes up. Here. That's it. That's it. Me, usually that's it. See it. In, up high, I always recommend. Here, okay, I start to drop. Okay, my face is looking into his body. Hold to my chest as I come up.
Okay. Do we want our head like just keep our head upright?
Head up. Yeah, it's like
Oh, that's what you said as far as pushing over.
football. Here, okay? Right here, neck injury. Alright. The head up. It makes your whole spinal column a lot stronger. My head's down, he starts pushing it. There's a chain reaction in my spine. It's, yeah, goes downhill. In here. One. Here. And look at my grip. Don't waste time debating this. Out of grip. Just grab my own wrist. Head up. Ooh. I start raising my elbow, makes it hard for him. Okay, here. I'm stepping behind him. If I'm out here, it's hard. If I step behind him.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this topic.
You slipping, you know?
We don't have enough time. I just been all day on this shit.
It doesn't work.
All the way through. There you go. We get like that.
It's not hard to find your chest.
You gotta remember this is the reason why. When I come here, when I decide to go, say we're dancing here for a minute, and I'm gonna say, kick that leg back. Like a breathing moment. Like smoking.
Somebody
Yeah, I mean, that's that leg's back already. Quick step in, drop and drop. Shouldn't linger. Doesn't like this, he's gonna have that leg back already. So I have some options here, you know? Here, I can throw. Okay, look here. Or, just keep it simple. I pull in two. Here. Okay, here's where I drop. My head's up. Making it light. If I get too excited because he doesn't realize it's going on yet, and his legs aren't there, and I go, ooh. Now I gotta do some more work. That's why I like sliding down that pole. Slide down. Okay, I'm breaking them down. Just analyzing his weaknesses right now. Okay. First, I'll lean. I'm always trying to lower my weight, right? Because I don't want to be upright. It's easy, right? I want to start getting low. Base. Nothing pisses me off more than seeing big guys get taken down because they're inflexible and they don't know how to defend it. And all you gotta do is pick up your toe and just fall and balance. Yes. My chances are good. They're better than just right? Flexibility, guys. You got the big guys, gotta stretch. Gotta stretch. So here he does it again. Boom. Boom. Right here. I'm putting my chest weight on his head. If his head was not up, don't put your head up, put your forehead in my rib. It makes it almost impossible for me to do that. Okay? That's why I have to start pushing his head in and then getting my weight on it. Here. Now look, I go to the grips. Here, like myself. Right? So look, he's holding here. I'm gonna start grabbing the wrist at the problem. I go for a second. I go, just lock his hands again. However he locks his hands, okay, I'm going to fight the problem at the source. Okay, here at the wrist. So, but I've got to have good balance to do that. So here, I'm looking for it here at the wrist. I can't get to the wrist on this side, so I'm going to his tricep. Okay, I'm overhooking here.
Do we see that?
And I'm putting my weight here. Yeah. So I'm looking right here. That's his bicep. Just like here. Putting my weight. I can't do this if I'm upright because I'm actually gonna help him lift my leg. So here, I'm putting all my weight. My objective is to put my foot on the floor again. Here, I start to push down and rip up. Here, I've got to be careful for the re-attack. Get my foot back. Sorry. Knee bend. You can see the knee bend. Okay, so Ben's got that sucked. Yeah. Okay. A few options depending on what he gives me. If I push out, of course I start looking for the choke. And there's a lot of other things. This might be simple. The other, push his head to the outside, there's a lot of tricks. Okay. I'm trying to keep it simple. So look here. He's got really good position. He's pinching my ankle. Hard for me to bend. Boom. Put my weight on it. Okay. I can already feel the strength in his thighs right now that was pinching me is already going away. Okay. Here. Starting to weaken his spine. Everything's starting to get a little bit weak. Here. Looking for the wrist. Here. Can't get the wrist on this side, so I reach for his bicep. That overhook. Here. Starting to pull up. Straight up. Not into me. Not trying to bust his arms out until I'm super strong. Pulling it straight up. Everything going straight up. Here. And I'm pushing my foot to the floor. Opposite directions. My body's going down, his is going up. Here. Super simple. If he stays like that, we're dropping on him. Because we know his back's weak, but trying to hold us up this whole time. Smash him to the floor. So again.
What's the best way to push his head in? Just your hand?
Jesus Christ. Stop spearing me. Yeah, just your hand. If he's too close for whatever reason, just yeah. And this body movement too. So basically, put your hand again. It's just too tight. Let's turn my body.
It's like lean it up.
Yeah. Immediately putting my weight on him here. To the wrist, the source. Tricep here. Pull straight up. Push my foot down. Okay. Right here is up to you what you do. If his head stays down, I'm easily go in here. Even if I don't succeed with the front choke, I'll do this. I'll watch the clock. Just do this thing for like 2 minutes. We'll give you a shakedown. Okay? Let's try that. Let's do about 2 minutes of it. Okay. Proceed back. Nice. You know, I'm telling you, the big guy thing. No big guy should take it out.
Alright. So I just get it up. And I'll just lay on the sleep.
Oh, 2 minutes. Good. At the wrist. You're grabbing the knee. Guys, we're not using the gi for this, right? Make sure that we're grabbing the wrist and the bicep and not the sleeves. Good on your yes, Daddy. Good on your so you can learn it in a match when you grab our leg. Bend that leg right away. We're trying to do lunges onto it. Getting your leg down. I don't know how else to like help you if you just can't get your leg on the floor. I don't know what to do for you. So hypothetically, we're here. We got our takedown, however we get it. We did our dummy throw. We did a single leg. Okay, knees down. We're going to start the pass guard and have you face this way. Here. Typical. See how he's sitting right now? Good. He's going to start to play. We'll move left, move right. Okay. What I need is to see which side he's going to give me. Okay, I prefer to pass on this side. It's typical for everybody. Pass on this side. See how he's sitting? That's exactly how I want. Most guys are comfortable sitting like that. So I'm going to look to push this knee down. All right. So I'm looking for 2 different angles. I did this in class the other day. Here, 2 different angles. I'm going to cut this angle here. I'm already beating him here. He's going to not let me have that. So what I'm gonna do to make him give me the other angle is I'm gonna make his body go towards sitting, the exact opposite angle. Okay? So here, when I start to go, I'm shooting this under here, and I'm starting to push my shoulder. Look what he's doing already. It's good. Okay, because if he can lock that arm out, he's gonna prevent this. Okay, I'm trying to aim the point of my shoulder. You guys can feel that bone right here. I'm trying to aim that right where the knot of his belt is. Here. Here. Doesn't mean I crash and fall. Ugh. It's not gonna be accurate. You have to make sure you're in control of your own body. Here. So as I go, I'm gonna aim that shoulder and I'm gonna push here. Here. Right? Boom. Now look at my shoulder goes right here. Alright. You guys hear that? So look.
Yeah, I know, we feel.
So right here, it's pressure for sure. But right here, if I get it right, it takes a lot of practice and I come off my knees, that's a lot. And I'm not even trying to push into them yet. I'm just laying there. Here. So I made my angle by pushing this grip and this underhook grip, swinging it out same time as I stepped away. So one more time. Here, I'm gonna step. I'll get this grip. I never reach. Every time I reach, you imagine if we're in the same weight class and he's 6'4", how smart is reaching? Not very, right? Because he'll probably have that hook in here and start doing silly like basic sweep something, and I'm in trouble. So I've got to make sure that I'm in here always. Big guys got to get their legs, their back strong enough where they can play from here. Elbows touching their knees in here, or else you're in trouble. Anytime this disconnects, it's going to find space, start wrapping around me, I'm in trouble. Little guys, big guys, same thing. Here, what can a big guy do strength-wise if he has nothing to work with? You're just making yourself like a skeletal bubble. Okay, so little guys playing against a bigger guy, same here. I move, kind of stop in here. Move. As I go, I'm going to go out and swing. And drive. Here, look at it. And if I need to adjust, he's going to be scooting away, right? So scoot away, boom. If I'm just leaning on him, I'm going to collapse. So I got to make sure that I'm on my toes and I'm not just laying my weight on it. That's like a misconception with big guys, that I'm just laying on him. I'm not just laying on him. Okay? I'm very carefully placing my body on his body, just like any technical lightweight would. Okay? Except for I got more weight, right? And if his stomach's not in shape, even if it is in shape, I'm gonna fight it. I don't care if you got a six-pack, okay? Down the center of that six-pack, there's some connective tissue that's not as strong as the rest of the muscle. That's what I'm aiming for. Center, low, point of my shoulder. Right there, where his stomach's not as strong. Right where they would make an incision if they had to operate, right? Right here. Look, I'm attaching myself here, so when he moves away, I don't need this, right? So I'm trying to pull myself close to his hips. This right here is making it hard for his hips to move and his knee to come in. Okay, extending, locking it out. Discipline yourself to lock it out. Here, and I'm on my toes so that I can follow him as he scoots. Here. Here. Okay, when he starts to behave or get tired, okay, that's when I start to stretch this out even more, and I start to pull here, get that point of my shoulder right in the stomach here. Good. See, he'll calm down after a while. Do this right. Use Ben's. Oh, you get towards you. Ben's seen this one before. I like this. There's a lot of variations of this I do. He wants to go like the wind, you know. But, you know, Crosley showed me this pass and he said, this will work for you. And I realized, well, that's how he passed it. It's not just for me. He's not showing it to me just how big. He does this too. You know, and the basic rule of thumb is, if it's uncomfortable, he's gonna give you what you want. Right? So don't try to be super fancy, some like barrel roll sweep to a fancy pass. Do it. Keep it simple. You just got a simple single leg takedown. You're gonna keep the pass simple too. And all this is accuracy in grips, body placement, and cutting a couple of angles. Okay, so Ben's actually a better example because he's longer than me, so I have to be real careful. I'm not going to try to defeat his legs. I'm going to try to get to his hips as quick as possible. Right? Does that make sense? I'm not trying to defeat his legs because they're too long. I'm going to get tangled up. Okay? I'm trying to find a way to get directly to his hips as soon as possible. Okay? So that means I'm playing here. I'll cut an angle, betting that he's not fast enough. Okay? I'm not running around. Okay, follow me? I'm cutting an angle. Okay? It's a straight line. One way or the other, not an arc. Okay, so I'm stepping to, right? And as I get my grip, whether it's a grip inside the knee or a no knee, okay, on top of his knee, he's going to turn into me for sure. Here. He's already framing. I don't care. Look at it. Look at it. He's framing. There's a clear path right here. So we're okay. Good. And I'm inside. Here. Okay. I'm not accurate. I got my bicep on his stomach. It's not good. It's not where I want to be. It's a start. I make sure that I get into the hip here. Head stays attached, and I'll let him scoot. When scoot, boom, now I find that point here. Whether I'm still cupping here or I'm gripping here, it's up to you. Situational or we're going to gear. No, but you got to keep that arm straight either way. Here. As I finish, there's no knee, hand on the knee, or I prefer that you guys learn to switch grips here. So it's one for your knee, right? Or two. Be patient because he's the one suffering, not you. We're just going to force you to stand up and walk away. Here, lock that arm out. Bring it in. Bring your knee in. Right. Now look. Now I have this hand free. Look, I don't do this. Give him all that space. He's going to suffer. He's going to suffer all the way through. I'm going to keep the point on my shoulder, starting here, and it's going to grind all the way here until it gets to his face and makes him look away. So I'm going to maintain my position here. Okay, look, and I'm going to move. This is my insurance that he doesn't pull the arm. Here, look. I can't get my arm out without giving up that position. Here. Okay, now naturally once I got here. Now this knee goes into the hip. This one comes underneath. If he's being stubborn, put his head to the ground, and we'll come here. Okay, and I'll show you what we're going to do with this leg. Oh no. Okay. Now let go. Here, he's going to slowly hop. All the way, keeping that angle. Body here. All the way up. See, my arm won't come out. Now when he's here, I'm going to look at his face. Here. Now it comes out naturally. A lot of people don't like going underneath. Right? They don't like it. Sorry. They don't like you going over. Standard says you come under here, right? Just do it. It sounds you get to. But I do some stuff. Go over the top. Don't take a cold big guys. Okay. You guys okay with it? Let's try it out.
Drive your shoulder right in there.
Say there's a problem with self. So just get this close. You guys, pay attention to the elevation when you pass. If your butt's high in the air, ask your partner a question and see what it sounds like when he answers. Then lower your back, like push-up position, ask him the same question and listen to the sound of his voice. All right. Huge difference in pressure. Yeah. Accuracy and grip. See how his knees bend? Keep your hips forward. Lock it out. Keep that light. Because Tim is actually pretty good at this. He's considerably lighter than me. But if I make this mistake, he'll catch me on it. Here, he doesn't like suffering, so if I'm up here, look at what he's going to do. He's going to grab my wrist and redirect my pressure. I have no pressure, and I'm in trouble. Okay, again, I don't want to contend. My body's probably higher. I get low, look at, I want my body low to the ground. Here, look at, listen to it. Here. Right? Putting more pressure here. I start digging my shoulder into it. It sucks. And if he scoots away, boom, when I fall off, look at, I stay here. Low is the key. Low doesn't mean I'm laying on the mat. My heels are on the mat, my hips are low, my stomach's dragging on the floor. But look, if he's moving away, I'm going to wait to catch something, whether it's the sleeve or his shoulder, and I stay low. How can he pull guard right now? I'm just dragging, but look, what I can't do is let him beat me when I'm not here, right? So I got to stay glued to him. That's why that hip control is important. Here. My advice on hip control is if you can, get to the center of the mat, because then it takes that kick. Takes that leverage out. I'm here, redirects me. Okay, but on this pass, we start working on that, then I'll start grabbing his pants, or his belt, right? Sit here and drag. But if I lay here lazy, typical fat guy, he's going to put me in a lot of bad positions. So I'm going to stay on my toes here. So he scoots, I scoot, I'm on my toes, I'm ready to go. But I'm keeping my stomach and my hips to the ground, right? Because he's eventually going to bring me either his collar or his sleeve. To grab here and not just hang out. You guys watch any Yakure videos? Watch him pass. That's how he passes. He passes just like this. He'll go here, just like that. He's here. He just drags himself. It's containment. So there's a huge difference between laying on someone, smashing them, and containing them. And use. So look, I can lay on Tim, okay, but he's going to find spaces. So for the little guys, you've got to think exact opposite for me, right? Because now I'm going to start compensating, like, oh, I'm losing it. He just exploited one weakness after another. He's created a chain of events that were bad for me, okay? So I can put my weight on him, but if he's got good positioning, it doesn't matter, okay? I can't make him suffer anymore, okay? So look, I'd rather seal off all the spaces. I always use an analogy like you're holding water in your hand. Yeah, if you squeeze it, you lose it, right? It's better to seal off all the little cracks and just hold on to that, right? So little guys, long guys, you gotta think of them a little octopus. Get in any crack you can. So here, containment. I think about where can he escape. He's going to bring that knee in. He's longer than me, more flexible than me, okay? So I have to seal him off at his exits, his possible exits. So here, right, look, he made a mistake. He's already exploiting. My head's up. Okay, I'm talking to you guys, so my head's up. But if I'm passing, I'm here. Okay, look, oh, he's looking for that. Cut him off. Okay, I just put my hand on the mat next to his hip. Okay, start wanting to put pressure on him. Okay, I could smash him and probably get re-rolled, or I could pull him in and start to put pressure on his face here, but I'm containing here. Okay, here. Going up, here. I just want to contain. Huge difference between containment and smashing. Right? Learn to contain it. Always. That goes with keeping your elbows in tight. This is also a part of containment here. I'm passing. And I'm just going to go, look at all these spots that are open in my body. Between my elbows and my knees, there's huge gaps. My arms are straight so you can come over the top. Huge gaps. Okay? But if I approach it this way, here, there's less gaps. Okay? If he comes over the top, start coming here. Okay? Now look, I'm in the same position to pass. Same position. Boom. You guys got any issues with this at all? Everybody need to change your underwear?
Hurts hella bad.
Yeah. Let's get some water real quick and we'll elaborate on some more of this stuff. Yeah, I'll cut the top of the knee. Okay, then it becomes the same pressure. So look, now when I go, I'm looking at the angle of his hand, the angle of his femur here. I'm going to match that. Everyone's talking about cutting angles. Okay, so I'm going to cut an angle. Step up with this leg here. Okay, I'm going to pull if I can. If he starts pushing with this, then I'll grab this. This is best. This is to help keep it flat. Here. This is good. Okay, this is better. Take what you can get. A lot of times then you're using the collar. So look at this foot's up. I'm going to match my shoulder because I'm already going chest down. So I'm looking at the point of his hip. Okay, feeding the hip. Getting to the hip as soon as possible. Here. Boom. I hit my chest right on his hip. Go screw away. Screw away. Okay. Accurate. Right on his. I can feel his hip socket right here. The center of my chest. Right on. Here. Again, I'm cutting that angle. Here. Now, gotta be careful on how you linger here. Because if I get here, Ben's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna reach inside. He's gonna open his knee up. Start to redirect me. So be wary of that. So that's why I don't like to linger here. Typically, these guys all, well, I don't have tricks already. They start looking at me too inspiring when I counter my stuff. So, I want to linger. I don't want to linger here too much, okay? And I don't want to pop up. Every time I pop up, I have trouble. I want to stay low. So look, typically this is out, okay? I probably want to move to something else, right? Here. Okay, but if he's here and he's scooting his hips out, boom, he's going to work for me. Collapse that knee. Look, I step up big. As I step up, I'm trying to find a collar or a sleeve here. I'm going to match the angle of his femur here. 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 And I'm blocking this arm out that's on his knee. Here. Pulling. I'm not letting this go loose because he can't move his hips, so he's going to move his upper body away from me. Make it hard for me. Take me out of position. I don't want to move his upper body, but I want to keep him hauled up. Here. Then give him the test. Move your hip. Okay, now I know I'm good. Keep my hips low, because if I raise my hips, move your hip. Gotta stay low. Contain it. Here. You gotta remember, you're working with this guy. You gotta contain him. Okay? You are working with Joe or Tim, somebody super tall. So we've got to shut him down at the hips and contain him. I can't fight long limbs. I'm too short for that. You can't match his strength. You gotta be smarter than that. Get to his hips. Okay? I guarantee you his hip bones are much bigger than yours or Tim's. When you strip off on the carny, right? Everybody's got relatively the same length, maybe more dense, okay? But you gotta get to those hips. Connective tissue, maybe a little bit thicker. It all boils down to the same. Here. Look at, he still got that? Being stubborn? Let him. Here. Keep my hips low. Low. I'm smashing that leg, that top leg, smashing it. Just walk in, walk in. Now I found him clearing, the knee goes in. I'll keep this. I like to keep this on this pass when he's turning, any pass when he's turning like this, I like to keep it. Because to breathe deep, it's expand and contract, right? Expand and contract. It's really hard for his stomach to expand. Taking a deep breath here. So here, and then I start moving to flatten him, but also keep him turned. Here. Okay, when I get here, this is a bonus. You guys that haven't seen this, come over here. See how I've got my hand underneath his collar here? So like wrestlers will understand this, where I grab the shoulder blade to flatten him out. Okay, look what I do when they turn this. Sometimes I let them turn in on purpose. So they expose their back here. Look at, I learned this from the chiropractor. Actually, she was a physical therapist, but she used to adjust me. We'll get to that as well. Look at, I'm going to find his lungs right here, and the other side, his lungs right here. Keep my elbows in here. Now I'm going to start my chest right over his chest, over here, as I pinch my elbows. Right, you hear how he sounds? Right, I'm on both sides of his lungs here, and I'm not smashing, okay, I'm still focusing on containing, but I'm in place so that when he starts to calm down and realize he's not going anywhere, then I can start pinching my elbows, and I'm going to do opposite pressure, right? So I'm cinching, tight waist vertical, tight waist, and I'm cinching. I'm not squeezing, cinching, right? It becomes leverage here, and I bring my elbows back. I'm trying to push my chest in, pull my elbows back. So here. If you need to, you can make a fist, roll them on that. That's at the risk. That's at the risk of your own fingers. Okay, here. That's to pull my elbows back and roll my chest onto them. Right there. And I'll just hang out. Here. I've already passed guard. I got 2 points for takedown. I passed the guard. I'm 5 ahead. Now I'm just going to sit here and hang out. As long as I keep my hand in tight, I don't want to make space. Here. Just start getting tired. I'll feel him start to become defeated. And then I'll start racking up points, coming up for 2, and then go for submission towards the end. Okay, so again, right here. At the knee, collapse it. Okay, find the collar, match the angle. So I'm stepping up to match the angle. Here, lock this arm out, walk. Knee comes in, boom, he's already turning in for you. Good job, right? You did exactly what you were taught. Turn in, here. And that's, be careful you don't roll over. As you go, adjust down. Until you get the spot you want.
It's something like an old Asian man now.
Okay guys, let's try it. So it's the same pass, just starting from the half guard, knee shield position, close knee. Give the pass and I'll show you. So from half guard, back forward, okay?
Oh, just a little photo.
Good. Don't skip on the details. Go back. I want you to get your chest, center of your chest. Your sternum right here. Turn into him. Yeah. Turn into him. Here's just a voice there. Yeah. Get on your toe, kick that leg back, sprawl out, get your stomach low. Don't go to your knees though. You're gonna keep walking, pull with your left hand, pull. Now you find an opening.
Definitely.
So now, I'm going to split this arm as easy as you can.
All right.
Let's turn the knee to let go of this. Just reach around. Now basically trying to kill you. Pretty much.
The eye tap.
They're flat. I can get this. One of the wires on the chest. Now I lower my chest right. See, look, I can loosen it. Or I can pinch my elbow and push my chest in. But I'm not going to stick the shield over here. And then if I what are we supposed to do with this? Every time you pick up your cardio, man. Keep getting more tired. It's fucking wear them down, man. You got the takedown, wear them down. So they get up. You know? Think like a little kid if you're having to fight future you. Teenage you versus now you. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, when this guy gets up, he's gonna fuck me up. I gotta make sure you don't want to fight when he gets up.
Take it all out.
Yeah. This pass right here, just lay your whole body weight on their leg. All of your weight. Step out. Big step with your right leg. You're right.
You're actually there.
Right leg. Face the rear step. Your butt. Same angle now. I want your body. laying on that leg. Just laying on top of it. Good. Straighten that leg out. Good. Start walking through his head as you pull with your right arm. Good. Keep walking. Keep walking. Good. Bring your left knee in. Okay. Now your left hand come over his back. Alright, elbows together as you smash your chest to his. Push your chest in. Get straight. You want to stay chest on his finger and pivot. You don't want to slide out of his leg. As soon as he does, strike on him faster. Also, especially you, you got to lay your whole leg on his thigh. His leg, his one leg. Especially outwards, so we've gotten here. Maybe I'm not going to be straight through yet. Maybe I just got here. Remember I talked about coming over the top, right? Where I like to bait people into this. You guys, some of you guys that were here for the class for the conference. Okay, but look at typical. What is your typical response to this? Right. Perfect. What is your instructor yelling from the sideline? Right. So start underhooking. Underhook right here, that's good. I understand. So underhook will escape. Right? Good. So again, I'm baiting. If I really feel like his underhook's a serious threat, it's real deep, okay, I'll do some damage control. I'll either hook under his leg here or put it on the floor. And I start to shift my weight towards that wrist. Okay, kind of negates the underhook. But then again, I'm going to start to let him believe he can underhook and escape, right? So the more he turns in, look, boom, right here is where I lower my weight, and I stop him from turning in, because I got him all the way on his side where I want. Okay, look, real deep underhook, see? Look, this is what I want. Look, here, I'm going to look at his head. Catch it. What's your response to that, Steve? So look, typically he's going to pull it back. If he leaves it out, that's fine too. Take it from the beginning here. That's a turn in, it's underhook. Okay, whatever you need to do. As he pulls that arm in, catch it. Okay, I start pulling it in. I don't want to match his strength. Okay? Little guys versus big guys, not matching strength. What I'm trying to do is to shut down his muscles so they can fire power. So I'm trying to bring his wrist to his shoulder, so now extend your hand. It's harder. If it's out here, extend it. I have no strength. It's got all the leverage. So I'm trying to bring it in. I'm not worried about finishing the submission game. I'm trying to I tricked him into this, and I pull up. When I pull up, it creates that response. I still got it even though I let go of the wrist. Now he's going to touch his wrist and check him out. You know, here. Then look, I bring it wrist to the shoulder, here. Shut down those muscles. Okay? Now it just depends on what he gives me from here. I go from here. Okay. He'll want to sit out. Fine. Good. Rethought it. Goes back the other way. It's okay. Look. Pull into your body. Clear the fence. Pop the fence. Okay. Don't bring it back this way. It's going to grab cloth. Bring it into you. Up. You don't have to go hard. All you need is a 90-degree angle. It's like physical therapy for your rotator cuff. We're doing damage to the rotator cuff, but it's all at the same angle, right? For you. I don't have to crank it. Because this right here gives him more range of motion. It allows me to go longer. If I get it up here, isolate it here, bring it to my chest, he has less range of motion. It's done. Okay, so when I'm here, I glue this tricep to my chest. Okay, so I sit up here, up. So if you find yourself north-south, always the debate which leg goes up, which leg goes down. Put both knees down. Yeah, we're making him suck. Now here, once I start scrambling like that, I'll just pinch his head. Here. Here. Let him fight. It's okay. Here. If he grabs his belt, grab your belt. Just wait him out. looking at here is bathing him. I had him flat. He was suffering. Okay, he really wants to breathe. Okay, so I'm gonna let him. So I go here. Oh, he sees daylight. And I go here. I'll even bait him here. Look, all this big white space for him to underhook and escape. I'm not controlling his head. He turns in. Got all over my chest. Here, I pull the wrist up. Remember we talked about grabbing the single leg all at once? I don't want to start doing this because then he knows what's up. So what I do is I go here and let him think he's getting the underhook. And I come to the wrist first. Boom, see I almost come out of position? Here, up. He pulls it in. My hand is waiting for him the whole time. Here. And I just attach my hand. I'm good. Once I'm here, I can do a number of things. I can stay right here, finish it from here. He pulls half guard, I'll pull half guard. I'm still good to go, okay? Okay, if he turns into me, or turns this way, one of the defenses is going to turn the elbow to the floor. Here, I lower myself. Here, I just keep pulling his wrist to his shoulder. Here. Okay? If he straightens his arm, still finish it here. Okay? If I roll, just keep going, Commerce, any angle. If he wants to flip you, flip. Stay with it. Finish it like you would any other way. Side. Let's go side. So here, it's constricting. He's dying. I want to give him some space. I go. Baiting. Here. The more he feels confident in this underhook, the better I am. If I feel like I might be risking, I can grab his block here. Just in case this is too good, then I misjudged it. I can go here and start putting weight on it. Start all over. Here. As he starts to come up, let it go. When it comes up here. He's strong. Doesn't matter. This, I just want a reaction. So the harder I rip this up, he's going to pull it in. Here. Look at, I can't even get in. He harvest it, it doesn't matter. Look, I'm just going to keep this here, start moving the angle. Okay? This is another one here, guys. I think you're smart to shove his elbows to the floor and sit up. So, doesn't matter. Okay, I want to shove my knee underneath the back. Problem. Then I get him out here, and I'm tired, I'm not sure for nothing. Out. Okay, where's the floor?
So the finish is always away.
Always away. Never pulling it straight up. This is
Because even on that one, you pulled it up.
grab it up. Grab it up. Grab it up. I'll let it go. I pull it away. It's a huge difference, right? Yeah, so set up is here. Let him get that underhook. Pull these two fingers, catch that wrist, and I'm going to sit up. Sometimes to get that angle, I'll pop this leg up. That's when they'll get half guard. I don't care. Here. He's shooting half guard. He's about to get out, so he thinks, here. And I'm waiting. He has to bring it on me. He has to. Okay, now I'm here. Even if I can't get my hands connected, I'll ensure that this angle stays here. I'm waiting out. Okay, until I can connect here. Right here. What's he doing? Here's the half guard. He's going to start scooting underneath me. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Every step getting closer and closer to finishing. Cool? Yep. Let's try that, guys. gotta run around.
Different ways, there's still gonna be a limit.
So now question.
You're low that number. So,
It's still gonna have to handle the map.
400,000 submissions may seem like a lot, but it actually is. It's not. But it's not that.
If he turns into me, he's gonna bring that around and just get my chest low. Stop it at elbow, start coming from the mouth here. And if worse comes to worse, I tuck my elbow in. I start to make himself.
That's all.
Here, and then most of the time he'll give you something. Keep it going. They're gonna smash you. They have a chance. You gotta use your physical attributes, which is being faster than you, being more flexible, more stamina. So, if I'm a small guy versus Jason, I'm doing this. Oh, he's too strong. I felt. Oh, just trying to move his wrist was ridiculous. Look, I'm not being lazy on my knees. Okay? I'm on my knees because of the position called. So because I can't rip his wrist up, he's giving me the space because his elbows are up.
Thì bà hỏi là cạnh chụp cắm đầu cổ chụp
Fish
làm
behind.
tới cuối cùng cũng còn pin
It's there again.
Không có máy nè, không có máy.
Boom. There it is.
nó theo hờ
If he turns to his stomach, he's gonna have to put the hand over it, right?
Bà cứ
As he does, boom.
rồi chụp coi cái nào
As he turns into
còn
me,
nếu có cái hỏi trước thôi.
bring this to me. Okay? I'm just playing a game. Like I said, containment. Containment is also putting him in one predicament after the next. I threatened that Khmer, he thought he was smart and doing the right thing. Textbook, moving out, underhook, escape. Boom, I caught him in something. Oh crap, he redirects, I redirect. Keep going back and forth, like a tennis match. If I can make him dance around while I stand in the middle, eventually I'm gonna start scoring, right? That's pretty much it. Get around behind that tricep on the Khmer. I mean, I can go on forever with the stand-up and the Khmer's. We only have a couple hours. So, I think a few months ago, we spent about 2 months on just Khmer stuff. So I can go on forever with it. You guys have any questions? Yes, go. No questions, that's it? You guys feel like training? Yeah? Test them out. All right, there's no questions. This is it, man. This is the troubleshooting. All right, let's train, guys. I mean, if there's one thing that saves me, I've been in tournaments where I really should have been in because I'm not in shape. And what keeps me okay is just staying calm. And being confident in the position, confident in, my abilities, managing my expectations. Typically, you get big guys that are coming to shake the shit out of you or try to bulldoze you. Stay calm, man. Stay in your position. You try to snap me down. Look at my base. My shoulder's not past my foot. Okay, I'm not leaning back. Okay, my shoulders in my feet here. I'm centered. As long as I don't let him take me out of center, I'm good. He could snap me down and make me look here, maybe go for a single leg, but if I lower, get myself back, it's containment, position, angle. When he keeps going crazy, I let guys just blow their water. And when they get tired, they're going to help them start coming out because they're big guys. They won't start coming out when they get tired. Then they start getting lazy, they start leaning, they start doing this, and then boom. We have our dummy throw, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so let them get tired. Get typically from the shortest match is 4 minutes. Okay, you guys can start from your knees, all right? Start from your knees for safety. Ready to go? 10 minutes. Yeah, you want to do your partner, man. Training myself.
Mr. West kicks you in the head. That's it, man. Go light up in the class for your eyes.
Good job.
You all right, Richard?
Yeah. Mr. West facing me on all fours. So actually go to your side second control. This is something that we didn't have time to go over. That's like to a fault. I like to make sure everybody has a detail because of that eat up time. So look at, say all this fails, do an underhook. I don't catch it, he goes to his knees. I'm fine with that too. Because I'm immediately looking for top headlock. So big guys versus little guys. Stay on all fours. Two things big guys will do. Jabs on there. He'll get tired, especially if I start putting my weight on his hand. He'll either put his forehead on the ground, and he'll start trying to push. Look up. His first instinct is going to be to come up, because he's going to want to grab the legs, take it out for a double. He'll raise that chin up. So immediately you should be going for chin control. Looking for a front choke if you can get it. If you can't get it, because he realizes that you ball up, look at it. Some people would say that this is not right. Okay? That I'm giving him too much space. But I'm containing him still. Okay? I'm not just putting my weight on him, I'm containing him. This is putting my weight on him. He has free reign of where he can go. Because I'm centered. I'm dissecting him into 4 parts. Down the middle and right here. Right now, I'm containing this part right here. Here. See, I'm pushing into him. He doesn't feel like he can turn into me. So he'll do something else, which is usually to turn out away from the pressure, right? Try. Usually sit out. Go and catch right here. And I start threatening this. Either I put my knee on his chest and finish it here, or if he turns into me hard, go in here. Okay?
Are you cupping the, are you grabbing the lapel or are you cupping the chubby?
The problem with grabbing the lapel is it takes a lot of time to find the lapel and he'll defend it. By the time you find the lapel, he's up his chin. Just grab the chin. So here. If he starts facing me, let's go to the other side. Okay? Or I come behind him. Now on this corner, here. Okay? I have space here, but if I need to, I can seal it off because I'm not lazy on my knees. On my toes, again, it's the same position. Okay? here. Okay? If a clock choke is here, I might go for it. He'll defend it and go to the other side. Right away. I'm giving him nowhere to go. It's like, you know, putting him in a maze and there's really legs and just running, trying to find somewhere to go. Give him nowhere to go because you're constantly moving. No matter where he goes, you stay on it. So his hip, here, here, here. Okay. Guys, thanks for coming, man. Everybody here, like I said, get the DED. I'll try to squeeze as much of the missing points as possible. All right, thanks for coming. You can leave your hair as long as my knee is inside of his hip. Okay, as long as if I leave too much gap from my hip here, he's gonna pull half guard. So if I'm over here, I need to have my knee in his hip. I'm gonna take this hand and replace where my knee is at. Here, instead of come on. If I need to, I can make more space as long as my knee stays there. Come here, he'll start coming into my underhook. I'll start sending this up. Start happening and I'll get a face. His right stick. Okay. If this fails and he realizes what's going on, he's going to put his hands in the mat and start to come to his knees. Here, which is also okay. I like them to come to their knees so that I can start a whole different series of setups. As he comes to his knees, immediately I'm looking to go under his chin for this control. Raise your hand up there. I'm looking to grab his chin here, right? Whether I get the choke or not doesn't matter, okay? If the choke presents itself, I will. Everybody knows the choke, okay? But what I'm looking for is control and containment here. So go ahead and put your elbows. Most guys will climb up here. What they're waiting for is opportunity and space to pull hard. I'm in trouble, okay? What I'm going to do is put my chest at the point of his shoulder, dissecting him in fours again. Here. So look, I'm here on the hip. My hip on his hip here. See, I don't have to be on the ground. My knees off the ground. I'm putting a lot of pressure. So Van's going to turn into me. It makes it hard for him to. And if he does, it's still over. And I'm back here frustrating him once again.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? Push back. If he turns away from me, boom. I can stay seatbelt. Here.
I get a little nervous.
Okay? We're just learning to go from all sides. So he turned into me. I lost that Kimura. I'm not going to worry. I'm going to wear him out. Whether I get a submission off of this or not is not important. Okay? Dealing with big guys, big guy with a better cardio, equal skill up, is probably going to have a better edge. Okay? You're both big, you're both strong, you're both at the same rank. Okay? If you have better cardio, you're probably going to be good. So say we have the same exact cardio, okay? Or maybe he's in better shape. If I can learn to contain and frustrate him, I get his heart rate going, I get his breathing going hard, and I give him nowhere to run to. I put him in a tight spot, which is here, and I push. He'll want to respond, and I'll react accordingly. Okay, so he turns into me, which is typical. He wants to pull half guard. Look at where my hand's going. See this hand right here? I'm looking for this thigh. So as he pulls guard, I shove it, and I flatten him out. Here. And I can start turning to set up whatever I need to. He'll most likely turn into me here. And I'm back here passing the guard once again. Okay? So you can use this from a snap down. A snap down, face me. If you snap down on a takedown and you land it here, you can use this to frustrate. As soon as he turns into you, capture that knee, smash with your stomach, come around to the other side. Now you've got the takedown and the guard pass. If it's a no point tournament, you're on top, you frustrated him, he thought he had the takedown, he didn't. Now you're on top, constricting him once again. Okay? Here. Remember, quarters, 1 quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd, 4th. Always keeping your chest heavy on one of those quarters. Here. Always paying attention to what he can do as you move to each. So as I'm moving from here to here, I got to know that this hand can come up and block me. All right? I have to know that. So I can block here, or I can keep my hand in front to minimize that. Okay? Here. Here. Now I know if I move here, this leg right here can move to pull guard. Here. So I might redirect. Here. Be confident in the position. Drill the technique so that it works. So half guard right here, guys. We're looking for the same task. Maybe he's too deep right here. I can't get to this leg. This is not possible. He's doing a good job with his knee shield. I can't reach here. Okay? Look at what I do. I'm going to step up here just slightly. If I go out too wide, he's going to pull this knee out and go full guard. Okay, I don't want to give him too much space. Okay, so one way I can prevent that is by keeping my hand on his knee, or I can get the grip here. Okay, so look at what I'm going to do. I can't put weight here. He's going to redirect. So what I'm going to do is bypass it. Okay, so I'm going to take this hand. As this knee comes down to block, I'm going to push his knee in with my knee here. And I'm going to swim this arm through, because he'll probably be bracing right here. But again, I have space right here. Then I'm going to slip right through. Go ahead and brace. So what I'm doing is I'm deflecting, pushing his knee, and I'm slipping through this crack here. Here. As I go, I step this leg out, and I'm immediately pushing back, because big guys are going to bridge you over. For sure. Okay, so here. Push back. Okay, now I'm control again. Once again, I'm blocking the hip, and I start the process that we just left off. One more time. Can you see it okay there? I'm starting this pass. For some reason I don't feel confident he's pushing away. This is too strong here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start to put some pressure on it and step up. Okay? I'm controlling this leg because I don't want him to pull full guard. Okay? I'm going to start to pull this leg out. It's bracing. Okay, I'm going to exploit this space right here. Here, I'm going to push it down. As my knee comes to the floor to block, I'm also pushing it in. Okay, and I'm going to sit on my hip right here, this little feet point where his upper body meets his lower body here. And I'm going to shrug my shoulder in between this gap here. Here. One. Shove my hand through. Come back. Here, I'm shoving this through. One, my hand starts to go through the gap and guide my body. I set my hand down. Step over. Here. My hand goes to the mat and I push back. See, I'm leaning back right now. I need to scoop my butt away. Get my chest forward so that I'm not teetering back. Now if he reaches me, I'll be okay. I'll let him get tired.
We got two websites too.
One more time from this angle here. Actually, let's go head this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so here.
Yeah, Swiss. Oh yeah.
Okay, controlling this bottom leg here. Okay, he's bracing. Brace. Good. I start to come in here and put my knee down in front of his thigh right here. Shoot the gap. Okay, brace. Knee up. I start to pull here. Shoot this gap here. Sliding through that crack here. Elbow comes to the floor. My hip slams to the floor. Boom, right now. Okay, it makes it hard for him to maintain a half guard here. And if he does, I just immediately push it down. Step out. Big step out here. Scoop my hips away. Here. Hands on the ground next to his hips. Contain.
You should be on the side. Supposed to lean on the outside. Yeah.
I start my setups again.
So just
Okay?
start working.
Typical for big guys when it comes to guard movement.
You don't want it. You don't wear it.
For one, is closing the guard, period. Okay? Here, I can't close my guards. Walk me this way. The distance from his knees to his foot is great. Especially on my back looking, I can't close my guard. So if I'm closing low, I can't expect to close guard on the smallest guy if he's doing his posture properly. So what I need to do is climb up as high as possible. Because most guys are more narrow under the armpits. Okay, here. And I don't have his knees contended. Now I can close my guard. I have guys that are shorter than me, smaller than me, that can close their guard on me. So not being able to close your guard is not an excuse. If you can't close your guard, you got to try to maintain this position at least. Okay, if not, you're going to have to start getting good at open guard here, feet on the hips. Okay, so here.
I'm not really into wearing shorts.
Typical, actually pretty good percentage, especially the bigger guys are, the more I get the submission here. Okay? Typical, especially at the lower level, higher level gets a little bit different. For a lot of you white belts all the way to the purple belt, I can see you guys getting this quite a bit. They start standing up, or they start putting pressure on me here. I always break down, put your hands on the chest. Typical right here, I start climbing up. Here. Clamp, look at I'm closing my guard high. Okay? They're going to try to posture up. I come over the shoulders. Here, and I cross my feet. If I can't cross my feet, I'm going heels heavy right here. I'm curling, trying to bring my heels to my butt. I'm pinching my knees. If my knees go out, he's going to pull that out. Okay, I'm in trouble. But I've got to climb high. 1, 2. Here, pinch my knees. Now look what I have. I just grab both arms. I don't need 2 arms. I mean, I don't need one. I don't need to isolate, pick one side. You can pick one side or the other, switch to a traditional arm lock, but I have both here. They're both straightened out. Why do I need to pinch my knees? I grab the top, I hug it, and I raise my hips. It's a double arm lock. Turn your back. Once again, here, boom, bringing him up, letting him posture again, the whole time climbing high. Looking, coming over that shoulder is key. Boom, here, here. Okay. Pinching the knees, see the difference right here? He's okay, pinch my knees, raise my hips. It's a crazy nasty arm lock. Okay. Good. So typical posture, closing my guard. Very simple. Probably your first month of jiu-jitsu, you learn this. Big guys, it's important. I've been doing it forever. Simple sweep or scissor sweep. Okay. Squinting out. The only difference that I have, most people teach this right here, this grip. I teach this grip right here. Now it gives you less control over the shoulders, but it affords you other opportunities should this fail. Here, so the hip out. Here. Okay, he's real big. I can't get it. I can't get myself up. Here. I guarantee you, he's still charging you. He's still pressuring you. He keeps scooting. Use this foot on his hip to control the distance. Here, I might even put this foot on the hip also, just in case. In case I can't pull off the sweep, I go back here, start attacking this shoulder here. Okay? But I'm going to stick to my sweep. So here, he's chasing you. Okay? You stop, look at knee push. A lot of people teach this, but not a lot of people like use it. It's so simple, they overlook it. Push the knee, and I'm going to redirect. See, that's the difference. I'm not going to push Ben and sweep him this way. If he's strong and he's big, then he's strong and big. There's nothing I can do about that. So I'm going to push it and redirect. Here. Okay? And I have an arm lock here. I can go all the way over for a traditional arm lock. Here. Or if he starts to ball up, I start going for shoulder locks. At minimum, if he splinges back.
I was making some buck, but the whole way I came, and that's why I said I never got to spend anybody like, you know, so I actually bought that much.
Control the sleeve. A lot of people overlook this too, because this right here to a lot of people is loose and sloppy. Okay, but I'm controlling the sleeve for a different reason. I'm not going here because my intention is not really to sweep in this direction. I'm going to misdirect. So I'm going to control the end of the sleeve and his opposite collar. So as I come out from the sleeve, look at this is important. The diagonal position of my shin. Okay, if you're doing the traditional, the bigger guy is going to collapse your leg and he's going to pass this way. Okay, back. So I go here. My knees up. So MMA, street fight, I I can push him away so he can't touch my face. Okay?
But here,
Good. So here, foot on the hip on this side, foot on the hip on this side. So I'm gonna start scooting out, push this knee for the sweep. He's really gonna protect this side. He doesn't want to fall that way. Look, I redirect. I push this hip away. Here. I start clapping on the shoulder here. One more time. Redirect. Heavy on the shoulder. Here. Because I have the end of his sleeve, I just grab his wrist. Pinch, hit me.
So it's all done now. You're no longer money. I work for the man, whatever. Now, where it's where he was. That's what. But yeah, I'll make it much. I'll make it.
Butterfly hooks, guys. We did a dummy sweep. Here you go. Same thing. Elbow in. Pull it close. I want to turn to my side. I can't roll. He's too strong for that. Okay? I gotta scoop my hip out. Hands right here. I gotta scoop my body out here. Okay? And let him fall. So here. Keep the grip. I scoop. One way I can do that, if I'm not agile enough, I can cheat. Put my foot underneath my leg here.
I mean, if it's only like $1,000, that's bad.
Here. And if I'm pulling the shoulder to my shoulder closely,
You have to start up a business.
Well, I did that.
here. So I scoot out. Here. Pull it real tight. I'm going to turn my shoulder and look at the camera. Here. Here. He's falling. Now it's just a matter of guiding him. My look upward. Mistakes guys make, especially big guys, is this. Here. I'm going to lift man up and kick him with all the strength of my mighty quad. I'm not that strong. Okay? What I need to do without hands is scoot out of the way. Okay? I'm pulling his weight up and guiding him. I'm bringing my knee and my hook to my face. Here. I'm pulling him upward and guiding him with my hook. Scooting my body out of the way. Not using my leg strength. Here. So, from here, underhook is best. Here, why is underhook best? Because I can pull him in tighter. See that? I'm going to keep myself small. If I go here, it relies heavily on strength. It's not going to happen. I got to get myself underneath him, make myself a ball. Here. Pull him up high. Guide that hook. You guys didn't see my leg extend, right? Keep that hook curled in towards your face. It's here. Here. Scoop. Scoop. For big guys, little guys versus a big guy, these two sweep combinations are very typical from the knees position, or you're scrambling to your feet and they keep charging you, especially if they grab this foot, to let their momentum come in. Hey guys, sweeps, always pulling them forward, getting your body out from underneath them, not muscling them over. Scoot from underneath them, pull them up towards your head, get their weight going forward. That applies to most sweeps. Whether it's a butterfly hook, push the knee, simple sweep, that's it. Big guys, you gotta learn to make yourself small. It means you gotta be flexible and get your cardio up, or else you're just a big dude. Right? Can't be a typical big guy. Gotta work on your flexibility. You're gonna end up hurting yourself quicker than the average. Get yourself flexible. Learn to maintain positions, containment, body smashing. Okay? Accuracy equals pressure. Okay? You flop your weight down, you're not in control of your own weight. You stay in good position, you're in control. You can't be redirected. That's it, guys. Some bonus footage. Thanks for coming to the seminar. I hope you enjoyed.